Hey everyone, it's Joy here for Honeybee Stamps. Let's make a really super playful card using the Lovely Layers Cupcakes dies. Now I'm going to be using the ice cream. We're going to do 3 layers of ice cream. We have like our milkshake cup here. There's some cherries and some straws. I have die cut everything from white cardstock. These 2 dies go together. This piece here is going to go on top of the other piece, but I will show you how all of these go together. I'm going to ink up the front with a light turquoise color. I'm using Surf ink from Simon Says Stamp and Ocean ink for the background. This background also has some embossing on it from that die, and I'm just going to kind of layer these and look to see how I want, how much dark and how much light I want. I am also going to be using Honeybee Stamps' new Beeluxe blending brushes. I'm using size 5, 7, and 10. This is size 5, the smallest one. And I'm adding some darker areas to that front piece of that die. But I do, in general, want it to be lighter than this back piece. I'm going to add some darker areas. And once the ink dries, it's not going to look so splotchy. It'll even out once it dries into the cardstock. And I am using Nina 110-pound cardstock for this. I'm going to add some more color using the lighter color to that front cup for our milkshake, but we're going to have scoops of ice cream on top. And I'm going to do all chocolate ice cream, but obviously you could do different layers of different flavors of ice cream, but I'm a chocolate person, so doing chocolate layers is what I love. I am using a cappuccino ink here. There's 2 pieces to the ice cream scoop. This is the larger die, and I'm going to go a little bit lighter with this one. And here's the little pieces that will go on the bottom part of the ice cream itself. So you have these nice, lovely layers. And then I will come in with a darker color, which is the mocha, I believe. Yep. And we are going to use the size 7 blender brushes, or Beeluxe blending brush. And I'm going to add some darker areas to the outsides of my die cut here. And I'm kind of going at a little bit at an angle, my hands angling down towards my work surface, not straight up and down. And I feel like that catches a lot of that ink for it to be dark on the sides. I'm going to do the same thing around the top. And then on these die cuts here, there is a little bit of that embossing again from the die cut itself. And I'm adding some darker ink to those areas as well. I just think this is a super fun card. These dies are so playful. You can make a cupcake, you can make an ice cream cone, there's like a little candy bar piece, there's whipped cream, or it could be frosting for your cupcake. So you could really do a lot of things. I'm definitely going to be using these dies again in the future because I just think they're so much fun. So let's do the same thing for our other 2 ice creams, our other 2 ice cream scoops. And I've also die cut a bunch of cherries because I just thought it'd be fun to have this pop of red from the cherries with this card. So we've got the teal cup, we've got this dark brown chocolate for our ice cream, and then we're going to throw in a pop of red with the cherries and actually with the straws. But I'm going to add a little extra detail to the straws. So I've die cut these. I am going to color the stems green. Now there is a stem die cut separately. I just opted to not use it right now, so I die cut the whole back piece and then these little front pieces, not the small stem die. I think it's great. I just didn't feel like I needed it for my card. I am taking the smallest blending brush, which is the size 5. And as you can see, I'm adding a shadow area with my ink blending and then blending out lighter for my highlight area on my cherries. And I do have 3 more that I'm also going to color. We will be using 6 cherries total. And then in a second here, we can start putting these together. I just think this is so much fun. Oh, first let's do the straws. I'm just going to color those red, but I am going to add some stripes here in just a minute. But I'm just using that small blender brush. I probably could have got out a bigger blender brush, but this is what was in my hand, so I just started blending away. I'm actually going to use 2 straws on this because I feel like you could share this with your sweetheart or whatever. I Cleaned up my work surface. I don't want any of these other colors of ink to get where they're not supposed to go, but let's start putting our Lovely Layers cupcakes together. I'm adding dots of glue to my cherries, and then I'm just using this Pick Pro tool to pick this up, to pick up each piece and adhere it down, and then I'm just going to line up my top layer to my back layer, and then we have these super cute little cherries. I just think these are so darling. So let's finish this last one here. Then we have our ice cream. The second layer just goes at the bottom of our ice cream, piece of ice cream here, our scooped ice cream. And I'm going to put that in place. And then we can adhere our ice cream cup or our milkshake cup, kind of like what you would get in a fun malt shop or something like that. Nice glass cup, just filled to the top with yummy goodness. So a little bit of liquid glue, and then I can just pop that right into place. I am also using patterned paper from the Let's Party patterned paper from the new Celebration release. That's going to be part of our background. But before we get to that, let's add some white stripes with a white gel pen. And I'm just doing it on a diagonal. And the other straw I'm going to do on a diagonal, just in the opposite direction. And this is going to give a little bit of character to those red straws. Okay, so here's that patterned paper I was talking about. At the bottom, I'm going to place a little piece of wood grain cardstock from my stash. I want this to be the counter that our ice cream is sitting on, so I'm going to trim the excess off from the bottom. This is an A2 sized background, and I love it's all these fun little polka dots. I think it's perfect for this. I do want to adhere my ice cream scoops to my cup before I adhere it to my background. And I'm going to tilt the ice cream scoops just a little bit, or the scoops of ice cream, actually, I should say. The scoops of ice cream, that makes more sense. Tilt those just a little bit. And I do want this to have some dimension, so I'm going to add a piece of foam tape right behind this. And this will be popped up from the background, popped up on that little countertop or tabletop. This is a super simple card, but so much fun. I just think these dies are so much fun. I cannot wait to use the other ones. Then I have my straw. I am going to lift up my foam adhesive, tuck my one straw in here. I hadn't decided if I was going to use both straws. At first, I just decided to use one, but then I will tuck the other one in here in just a little bit. I do want to add 2 cherries to the top, and the other cherries I want scattered along that tabletop at the bottom. So let's add some liquid glue, and we can place this cherry down, and we have our second one. This is already starting to come together, so cute. Then we have all of our cherries that are going to be laying on the countertop. Some of these are going to have dimension, some of them will not. I'm going to place one kind of, it looks like it's on top of the cup, but kind of in front of at the bottom. So let's adhere this down. This next one will have a little bit of foam adhesive behind it. I do change my mind and decide I want that to be popped up. So a little piece of foam adhesive, and then the last one will have some liquid glue behind it. Then for the sentiment, I am using the Mini Messages Sassy Birthday. Oh, there's that second straw. Let's put that in. So we're going to add a really funny sentiment to this, but I do want to add some details to the cherries and the ice cream. So I'm going to bring back in that white gel pen and add that to some of the areas of the scoops of ice cream, to the cherries, to the cup. I didn't add any to the straw or the straws because we don't need them. But this just gives these images a little extra something, just a little more life to them, a little more interest by adding a white gel pen. So let's finish off these cherries at the bottom. I love how this looks. It makes me want to have some chocolate ice cream for sure. Look at how cute. That is so fun. I really, really love that. Okay, so Now we are going to do the sentiment. I'm going to stamp it with the ocean ink. It says 1 year closer to granny panties, which I think is so funny. So again, this is from the Mini Messages Sassy Birthday. I trimmed it down and then added some foam adhesive behind it and just kind of tucked it behind my ice cream. And then I'm going to finish this off with the Celebration Pearl stickers in the light green. Something about the green just felt like it belonged on this card. And then this will be adhered to a white A2 size card base once I'm done. But let's take a look at this up close here in just a second. Let's add one more. And that is all finished. Look at how fun that is. I love this die. It's so much fun. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project and I hope that you feel inspired. Have a wonderful day. Bye.